When it is finally ours, this freedom, this liberty, this beautiful and terrible thing, needful to man as air, usable as earth, when it belongs at last to all, when it is truly instinct, brain matter, diastole, system, reflex action, when it is finally won, when it is more than the gaudy mumbo-jumbo of politicians, this man, this Douglas, this former slave, this Negro beaten to his knees, exiled, visioning a world where none is lonely, none haunted, alien. This man, superb in love and logic, this man shall be remembered. Oh, not with statuesque rhetoric, not with legends and poems and wreaths of bronze alone, but with the lives grown out of his life, the lives fleshing his dream of the beautiful, needful thing.
At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument, is needed. Oh, had I the ability, and could I reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed. And its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What, to the American slave, is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty, an unholy license. Your national greatness, swelling vanity. Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless. Your denunciations of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence. Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery. Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are, to him, mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy. A thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour.
I believe no man, however gifted with thought and speech, can voice the wrongs and present the demands of woman with the skill and effect, with power of authority of woman herself. The man struck is the man to cry out. Woman knows and feels her wrongs as man cannot know and feel them. And she also knows, as well as he can know, what measures are needed to redress them. I grant all the claims at this point. She is her own best representative. We can neither speak for her, nor vote for her, nor act for her, nor be responsible for her. And the thing for men to do in this premises is just to get out of her way and give her the fullest opportunity to exercise all the power inherited in her individual personality, and allow her to do it as she herself shall elect to her exercise them. Her right to be and to do is as full, complete, and perfect as the right of any man on earth. I say of her, as I say of the colored people, give her fair play and hands off. There was a time when perhaps when men could help a little. It was when this woman's suffrage cause was in its cradle, when it was not big enough to go alone, when it had to be taken in the arms of its mother from Seneca Falls, New York to Rochester, New York for baptism. I then went along with it and offered my service to help it, for then it needed help, but now it can afford to dispense with me. Then its friends were few, now its friends are many. Then it was wrapped in obscurity, now it is lifted in sight of the world, and people of all lands and languages give their hearty support. Truly, the change is vast and wonderful.
Very soon after I went to live with Mr. and Mrs. Auld, she very kindly commenced to teach me the ABCs. After I had learned this, she assisted me in learning to spell words of 3 or 4 letters. Just at this point in my progress, Mr. Auld found out what was going on and at once forbade Mrs. Auld to instruct me further, telling her, among other things, that it was unlawful as well as unsafe to teach a slave to read. To use his own words further, he said,
"If you give a Negro an inch, he will take an L. A Negro should know nothing but to obey his master, to do as he's told to do. Learning will spoil the best Negro in the world." He said, "If you teach a Negro how to read, there will be no keeping him. It will forever unfit him to be a slave. He would at once become unmanageable and of no value to his master. As to himself, it could do him no good but a great deal of harm. It will make him discontented and unhappy."
These words sunk deep into my heart, stirred up sentiments within that lain slumbering, and called into existence an entirely new train of thought. It was a new and special revelation, explaining dark and mysterious things with which my youthful understanding had struggled. But I struggled in vain. I now understood what had been to me a most perplexing difficulty, to wit, the white man power to enslave the black man. It was a grand achievement, and I prized it highly. From that moment, I understood the pathway from slavery to freedom.